Hi, everybody. It's Phil, the big geek with Geek Omelet, and I've got another pre-Black Friday audio deal for you. And that's on this, the Sennheiser e835 and 845. In fact, it's in 4 different variants, 2 of each. So the manufacturer is selling on their website, or you can go to Sweetwater and you can get the 835, the 835S, which is the 835 with a switch on it. Think of it like a muting switch or an on-off switch, but it's a muting switch, okay? And then there's the 845 and the 845S. And again, the same difference here. Now, the other difference between these two series, the 35 and the 45, is the 835 is a standard cardioid and the 845 is a hypercardioid. So it's a tighter polar pattern. Think of it this way. If you're on stage and you have a guitar player and singer, backup singer to the right of you or to the left of you, and you just want to reject the sound coming from the sides of you, supercardioid is going to do a better job than a standard cardioid, because the standard cardioid, it's a wider pickup pattern. If you think of it like a cone, right? You've got kind of sort of standard cardioid and then hypercardioid or supercardioid, excuse me. There's also hypercardioid too, but that's not what these are. These are supercardioid. Something to consider is that if you're using a supercardioid microphone, it is going to be a little sensitive, coming out the end of the mic, the back of the mic. So if you've got a monitor in front of you, you want to make sure that the back of the microphone is not pointed at any huge sound source. I guess if the audience is far enough away from you, you're not going to really be worried about that. But yeah, so that's the big difference. And these microphones, they're $80. That is 26% off, 26% off the $109 price that these microphones are selling for. And, like a lot of things in this current day and age, the cost of importing things is more expensive, and products, they've gone up in price. So you've got a microphone like the 835 that is designed to compete with microphones like the Shure SM58 and the Shure SM57, which normally sold for $99. They now have gone up by 10% to $109. Same thing with this and microphones like the SEV7, other $99-ish price microphones that are manufactured overseas are being hit with higher import costs. And of course, manufacturers and retailers have no choice, but they're passing that on to you. So that's what makes this pricing so special, because you can get these microphones for essentially a little under 27% off. Makes it a really good deal. Now, Sennheiser, Shure, SE, these microphones, this is a quality microphone brand. I like Sennheiser microphones. I'm a big fan of their reporter microphones, the ENG, the MD46. I think my voice sounds great on it. But as you're doing your research, and you want to do your research, you're going to see a range of opinions, honestly, from thoughts that the e835 is trash to it's the greatest thing in the world. And it just comes down to what is my experience with it. I've personally used both the e835 and the e845 microphone, and I think on my voice, they sound great. And frankly, they are well worth every penny. These are durable microphones that are designed to be used on stage. I think they sound good, but ultimately you've got to decide if it sounds good for your voice. Let's go check out a couple other retailers, because Sweetwater isn't the only place you can get it. I'm not sponsored by Sweetwater. Let's take a look at, here's Musician's Friend or Guitar Center, same company. They've also got the 2 microphones for $80. There's the 835 and there's the 845. I love how they call the 845 Pro. From a manufacturing standpoint, there is no difference in the build quality of the 845 versus the 835. Unless you're considering a supercardioid pattern to be professional and a cardioid pattern isn't, which I don't think that's the case. I don't think most people do, but hey, maybe they do. It's their product. However, there's nothing different about the 845 except for its polar pattern. It has a tighter polar pattern. All right, so let's check out somebody else here. If you like buying from Amazon, then sure, Amazon's got these at this price. Personally, I would support a smaller retailer. Frankly, I would even support your local music store, because times are tough for everybody. And those people need help more than anybody. So go out there. Either way, if you want to buy it on Amazon, give your money to Jeff Bezos. If you don't, if you want to buy it on Sweetwater, give it to them. They take really good care of their employees from what I hear. And they have a great customer support system. I've loved it. Same thing with Musician's Friend. They actively online take care of their customers. And Musician's Friend's got Guitar Center, which is a retail store. And retail stores, they're having a hard time like everybody with more and more people shopping online. So go support your local retailer, whoever it is. These microphones, they're a great deal. And I strongly encourage you, if you're looking for an affordable live performance or even a podcast microphone, I think that the e835, my voice sounds rich and sweet on it. And I would use that microphone every day for a podcast. If you're doing a podcast and you're in a less treated or untreated space, certainly go for the supercardioid version. You want that tighter polar pattern. Either way, both of these are a great choice at the price they're being sold for. So get yourself a great pre-Black Friday deal on a Sennheiser e835, 835S with an on-off switch, 845, or 845S with an on-off switch. I think you're going to be happy with it. It's my opinion. If you don't like it, make sure you can return it. If you're going to give it as a gift, make sure you can return it. That's a good reason to buy from a company like Musician's Friend, who has a very liberal return policy. Also ask your retailer if they've got Christmas return windows, because usually this time of year, retailers extend the return window to, take into account that products are being bought to be given as a gift. All right, that's it. I'm Phil, the Big Geek, with what I consider to be another really good Black Friday or pre-Black Friday deal. So go out, and if you like the Sennheiser e835 or e845 microphones, you like the way your voice sounds on them, then go out and get yourself one and create, have fun. That's the most important part. Take care until next time. Oh, and hey, be sure to click and like and subscribe and do all the fun stuff, because it doesn't really cost you anything. It's just a little bit of effort, and it does me a world of good because I'm just starting out and I am trying to grow my channel. Also, I don't have a lot of videos up yet, but what I do have, I'd appreciate if you check them out. All right, that's it. I'm Phil, the Big Geek. This is Geek Omelet. Go out and create.